Let's see a string to integer conversion problem. It is medium level problem from LeetCode. We can see the companies which asked the question, these are the companies last 6 months they asked. Let's try to understand this problem and then we'll find the way to solve this problem. And this looks a very easy problem, but anyway, it's a medium level because of a few constraints. We'll talk about that. So we do not have to use any library, and we have been given a string, and then we need to find out corresponding integer for that. So for the 4 to, we need to convert to the 4 to integer, and in this case, if there is any leading space here or space after, we need to trim that space. The minus, we can consider the minus 0 in the beginning. There is no importance of this 0 here, so output we need minus 4 2. In this case, we'll process till here, till this all this number, and you can ignore others. And in this case 0, and you can take just 0, and after that this hyphen sign doesn't have any importance here. If it is before that, that will be the minus, but it's not the case. So, and here in this case 0, because there is no a number in the beginning, so there is a start with a letter, so we'll not consider that. So that's the problem explanation. We need to see a few more constraints here. So if you see, if the integer is out of 32-bit signed, if the max 32-bit, then if it is more than max 32-bit, then we need to return the max 32-bit max, or if it is the min, then we need to return min 32-bit, because sometimes it will go and it will go beyond the max size. So in that case, we need to return that number. So way to solve is, we need to process this string one by one. Like I will start from here. This is order of n, and we traverse, or just say we iterate each letter in this string, and we'll get that letter, and then we convert this letter to number. So if from this number, like from this 4 string, if I subtract the 0 from this byte, then we'll get the number 4. So we'll get that strategy. And also what we do, like in the beginning, we can initialize the result with 0, and then when we get the 4, the strategy what I'm going to use is, if I say the result is 0, then in this case I can say result into whatever the result into 10. I'll do the result into 10 and plus whatever number comes here, 4. So in this case, the result is 0, so, and I can store this in a result again. So this is the main formula I'm going to use. So in this case, if I multiply result 0 into 10 is a 0, and plus 4, it is 4. So next time, the result is 4. Next time I'll get 2. Then what I do, the 4 into 10, again 4 into 10 plus 2. So it's a 40, and I'll get the 42. So exactly we are going to use this formula. And we need to process only 0 to 9, and if there is other than 0 to 9, then we come out of this loop. So that's the logic we'll put, and then we'll get the answer. So let's write the code. So there is one iteration here. There will be some corner case. We'll find that. I will fix that also. But for now, I'm going to iterate this 0 and length of s, and I plus there will be one for loop. But there is a possibility, there can be some sign here. Either there can be the minus sign, or the plus sign. So in this case, if there is a minus and the plus, then we do not want to iterate from the 0, we need to iterate from the 1. So we need to consider that also. So for this purpose, the I, I'm not going to initialize I here, but I will initialize I at the top somewhere and say I is equal to 0, and this portion I'll do like this, and I can check if is 0, if the first character is minus sign. If it is minus sign, then the I value is 1. So that means I can start from the 1 index, that is the next one. So if there is a minus, then I can start with a 4. So that's why I initialize I1 here. The similar way I can also check if S0 is equal to plus, then in that case also I can put I is equal to 1. Yeah, I could have this S0 is equal to minus or plus here itself, but I'm having this different conditions because I need to initialize one more variable. I want to know if there is a minus in the beginning or not, so for the further use, because here in this case we know we can start I from 1, but we do not know what is the sign. So let me check, create one variable like minus sign. So minus sign, I can say false, and if there is S0 minus, then I can say minus sign true. Minus sign is equal to true here. So in that way we know that, okay, minus sign, there is a minus sign. So in that way we'll make sure if the value is in minus, then we need to check if it goes beyond the limit or beyond the minimum number. If it is in that case, we can return the minimum number. So that's why we'll make use of this value later. Okay, so now we have the main logic here. So I'll put the result, and result is 0, and here I can say result equal to result into 10 plus whatever the number, whatever this value we get. So si, so from the si, if I subtract minus 0, and whatever the value we get, we just convert to the int, and we'll get the int. So that value, and we can get the result, and at the end we can return result. We need to check here this is a max or min limit. So for that we need to write the code, but let's try to handle this scenario at least. Here I think we can cover this scenario. Okay, so if we need to handle this kind of thing, like when there is a that later we do not want to proceed. So let me add that condition also. So if I say if si greater than equal to 0 and si less than equal to 9, so this is a good condition. So in this condition we want to proceed, but if it is not this, so I can say here not. So if it's not between 0 to 9, then break the loop. So we do not want to proceed further. So in this way I think it run, and then we'll try to cover the other corner case later. Let me first run this. Line 5 minus sign, we have not used the minus sign for now. Okay, we'll use that. Just let me comment for now. Minus sign. Okay, let me comment for now. Just run this at least to pass this scenario. Minus 042. Okay, so we need, if there is a blank space, we need to remove that. So let me clear that here. So in the beginning itself, so I can say is strings dot trim the space and is. Is input output expected is okay, minus 40. Okay, so let's use the minus sign now. So I can check here if minus sign true, if there is a minus sign, then we need to add the minus in the beginning. So for that I can say result equal to minus result. Okay, it's accepted. So all these test case passed. Let me submit this. I know there is still the kernel case we have not handled this one, like when it goes out of the boundary, so we need to handle that. But first run this, submit this and see what it's complaining. Okay, it's complaining about the same thing. In a minus, it is a beyond that minimum number of int 32, so we need to handle that also. So let me handle, otherwise the normal case has already been covered. So this is the main code here, but inside the for loop we got the result. Then we can check if minus sign is false. If minus sign is false, that means it's a positive. It's the positive number, and the result, if it is a positive, then we can use the result in the same way. So result, and the result greater than max number, so I can use the max int 32. If it is greater than that, then just return this max int 32. I can return this. I can check another condition. If minus sign is true, the minus sign is true, and so when we say the minus sign true, then we need to check that result. So we need to convert result to minus result. So I can say the result less than math min int 32. If it is the case, then we can return math min int 32. So min int 32. So I think it will run now. First run this and then submit. Okay, so we didn't handle this kernel case, so let's do this. Like if it is a string is empty, then in that case we want to return 0. So I can handle that case here itself. If length of s is 0, then return 0. It should work now. Okay, that's nice. So that's all the complete solution here, and this is the full code. Okay, so that's all for now. Thank you.